In the realm of personal success and wealth, there is one book that has inspired millions of people across the world for decades. That book is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It is not just a book about money, but a philosophy of life, a manual on how to shape your thoughts into powerful tools that can create success, happiness, and fulfillment. Written in the aftermath of the Great Depression, when people had lost hope and the world was struggling to rebuild, this masterpiece offered more than strategies. It offered faith, discipline, and the understanding that the greatest fortune lies not in circumstances, but in the mind itself. The power of Think and Grow Rich lies in its central message, that success begins with a definite purpose, fueled by desire, supported by faith, and achieved through persistence and disciplined thought. Napoleon Hill did not invent these ideas in isolation. For over 20 years, he studied some of the most successful men of his time, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Alexander Graham Bell. He wanted to know why some people rise to greatness while others remain trapped in mediocrity. Through his study, he discovered that the principles of success are universal, timeless, and accessible to anyone who is willing to discipline their mind and apply them with faith and determination. The first lesson we find in Think and Grow Rich is desire. Every great achievement begins with a burning desire that refuses to die. It is not enough to wish for something or to hope it will appear. Desire must become so intense that it dominates your thoughts and directs your actions. Hill described desire as the starting point of all achievement. If you want to build wealth, create a business, write a book, or master a skill, you must first develop a white-hot desire that fuels your every step. When desire is strong enough, nothing can stop you. Think of Thomas Edison, who desired to bring light to the world. He faced thousands of failed experiments, yet his desire kept him going until he succeeded. Without that intensity of desire, the light bulb may never have been born. But desire alone is not enough. Hill emphasized the role of faith, which he described as the ability to visualize and believe in the attainment of your goal. Faith is a state of mind that can be cultivated through autosuggestion, the repeated affirmation of your dreams until they sink into the subconscious. When you tell yourself daily that you are destined for success, that you are capable of achieving your goals, your subconscious begins to accept these thoughts as truth. And once the subconscious accepts them, your actions naturally align with them. Faith is the bridge between thought and reality. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill also introduced the idea of specialized knowledge. General knowledge, he said, has little value in building wealth. It is specialized knowledge, applied in a definite direction, that produces results. You could attend university and accumulate endless information, but unless that knowledge is organized and directed toward a purpose, it will not lead to success. Consider Henry Ford, who had very little formal education, yet he surrounded himself with men of knowledge and applied their expertise to his vision of building automobiles. That was specialized knowledge in action. It shows that you do not need to know everything yourself. You need only to know how to gather and apply knowledge in the pursuit of your definite chief aim. Another cornerstone of Hill's philosophy is imagination. He wrote that imagination is the workshop of the mind, where desires are shaped into plans. Every invention, every business, every work of art began as an idea in someone's imagination. The airplane was once only a thought in the minds of the Wright brothers. The telephone was once only an idea in the mind of Alexander Graham Bell. Great fortunes are often the result of imaginative ideas turned into practical plans. But imagination must be disciplined. A wandering mind filled with daydreams accomplishes little, but a disciplined imagination guided by purpose can change the world. Of course, no plan succeeds without persistence. Hill emphasized that persistence is the sustained effort necessary to turn desire into its financial equivalent. Many people start strong, full of excitement, but when obstacles appear, they quit. Persistence separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Think again of Edison's thousands of attempts. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who lost multiple elections, failed in business, and suffered personal tragedies before eventually becoming one of the greatest leaders in history. Persistence is a test of belief, and those who persist ultimately win. Hill also taught the importance of the mastermind principle. He defined a mastermind as the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people who work in harmony toward a definite purpose. No one succeeds alone. Every great leader, entrepreneur, and visionary has surrounded themselves with allies, mentors, and partners who provide support, ideas, and energy. Andrew Carnegie attributed much of his fortune to his mastermind group, saying he had dozens of men working with him who were far smarter in specific areas than he was. The power of a mastermind multiplies your own power, just as many batteries connected together produce more energy than a single one. Perhaps one of the most profound lessons in Think and Grow Rich is the mastery of fear. Hill identified fear as the greatest enemy of success. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss, fear of old age, fear of death. These fears enslave the mind and prevent action. The antidote to fear is faith, discipline, and action. When you act in spite of fear, you weaken its hold. When you discipline your mind to focus on possibilities instead of problems, fear loses its power. Many people allow fear to paralyze them, but the successful use fear as a signal to move forward with courage. One of Hill's most practical teachings is the idea of decision. He observed that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly, while unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly. This ability to decide and act comes from self-confidence and clarity of purpose. When you know what you want, you do not waste time doubting or hesitating. Decision is a form of self-discipline because it requires you to commit to a course of action even when uncertainty surrounds you. Another essential element Hill discussed is the power of the subconscious mind. He explained that the subconscious is like fertile soil. It will grow whatever seeds you plant, whether positive or negative. If you feed it thoughts of success, gratitude, and determination, it will guide your actions toward success. If you feed it fear, doubt, and failure, it will lead you to defeat. That is why discipline of thought is so critical. You must guard your mind as you would guard a treasure, allowing only those thoughts that serve your vision to enter. Sexual energy, though often misunderstood, was another principle Hill included. He argued that the creative and emotional energy of sex, when transmuted into productive channels, can become one of the most powerful forces behind achievement. Many of history's greatest achievers learned to channel their emotions, passions, and energies into creative and professional success. This principle reminds us that discipline is not about suppression, but about redirection, turning raw energy into focused achievement. Hill also emphasized the role of the sixth sense, a kind of intuition or inner guidance that develops as you discipline your mind and align it with purpose. While logic and planning are essential, many great breakthroughs come from flashes of insight, sudden ideas, or hunches that seem to come from nowhere. Hill suggested that when you practice the other principles, desire, faith, persistence, imagination, you awaken this sixth sense, allowing you to make decisions and take actions with greater wisdom. Ultimately, Think and Grow Rich is about much more than money. It is about personal growth, character development, and the realization of human potential. Wealth is only one expression of success. The true riches are the strength of will, the clarity of purpose, and the discipline of mind that you develop on the journey. When you learn to think with clarity, to believe with faith, and to act with persistence, you can create not only financial success, but also peace of mind, strong relationships, and a life of contribution. Imagine yourself applying these principles. You wake up each day with a clear goal, fueled by desire, affirming your faith that it will be achieved. You visualize your success, you create plans with imagination, you act with persistence, you surround yourself with a mastermind group, you discipline your thoughts, and you push forward in the face of fear. Over time, these habits reshape your character. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as the creator of your destiny. This is the transformation Napoleon Hill envisioned when he wrote his book. The legacy of Think and Grow Rich is undeniable. Countless entrepreneurs, leaders, and dreamers have credited it with changing their lives. From people who built businesses from nothing to artists who achieved international fame, the principles in this book have stood the test of time. Why? Because they are based on universal truths of human nature and the laws of success that never change. As you reflect on these lessons, ask yourself what it would mean for your life if you truly applied them. What burning desire lives in your heart right now? Have you written it down as your definite purpose? Do you affirm it daily with faith until your subconscious believes it? Do you surround yourself with people who lift you higher? Do you persist when obstacles appear? These questions are not theoretical. They are the keys to unlocking your own potential. So let this moment be the turning point. Decide today that you will think and grow rich, not only in terms of money, but in spirit, confidence, courage, and purpose. Discipline your mind, feed it with powerful thoughts, and act upon your vision with persistence. Every great fortune, every meaningful achievement began with someone like you who chose to believe in the power of thought. The promise of Think and Grow Rich is as true now as it was when Hill first wrote it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You are not limited by your background, your education, or your current circumstances. You are limited only by the boundaries you set within your own mind. Break those boundaries, ignite your desire, strengthen your faith, and march persistently toward your goal. In time, you will discover that the riches you seek are not distant dreams, but inevitable realities shaped by the power of disciplined thought.